various implementations, upgradations, and these support projects as well with different vendors and customers, and work with the CM Finance and HRMS and CM modules. Yeah. Uh, Before this, if anyone has any questions and queries on open statements or open questions, we can discuss at the end of the session so that we can save our time a lot. Yeah. Now today's our agenda is what is Fusion applications? Oracle Fusion application architecture. Just will take a brief glance on this, and what we have various cloud deployment options, and what are the various service data models we have, that is SaaS, PaaS, and IaaS. How can we start the Fusion applications? What are the securities are provided? Inbound integrations and outbound integrations. And what are the major Fusion reporting tools we have, like OTBS and BE Publisher? How can we extend or personalize Fusion applications? What are the Fusion UI and application development framework? Nothing but what are the new pages we can integrate with Fusion applications? And we'll see quick glance of workflows in Fusion applications. These are the topics we can cover in this session. Yeah, first, what is Fusion applications? As you know, we have several applications in Oracle EBS application. Along with that, Oracle SOA Suite and this JDeveloper. Everyone knows this JDeveloper, right? IDE integration development application, which is developed for OAF applications, especially for the e-business suite. And the Oracle Business Intelligence, Enterprise Manager, and Web Center content. Nothing but to maintain all content information and identity management, especially for the user roles and these user provisionals, those which are deals with Oracle identity management and WebLogic server. These are the best in class standard platforms in Oracle. You know, these are together put into one of the applications called Fusion application. The same way we have the best business process also available, which is already Oracle e-business suite is the proprietary application for Oracle. Along with this, Oracle bought PeopleSoft, JD Edwards, Siebel, Oracle On Demand. You know, these best open-based platforms and these business process combination together as a Fusion applications. Earlier, we have a certain business process like PeopleSoft for HCM and like e-business suite for especially for financials. There are application which is individual providing the business services, whereas in Fusion application, which is have the together these platforms and these business processes, will have all the business services in this Fusion application, which is called Fusion. Now, these platforms and these business process services are deployed into Oracle, which is several options. Like we have public cloud, private cloud, and on-premise and hybrid. Here, public cloud is nothing but it can be hosted into internet by Oracle, which is shared to the multiple organizations from the same data center. Nothing but, sorry, this public cloud is completely maintained by the Oracle. There is nothing to be maintained from organization. Just organization is consuming the services which is provided from the Oracle. Whereas private cloud, here application in the data center maintained by the organization, the remaining would be maintained by the Oracle. On-premise nothing but the complete infrastructure and the patching or upgradations, those are completely maintained by the organization itself. The support will provided by the Oracle. Here hybrid is nothing but hybrid and application is a combination of on-premise and one of any cloud, nothing but public or private cloud. This is a combination of the Fusion applications. Nothing but whatever Fusion products are available, those Fusion products are together put into the one of the applications called Fusion application. This application will have various business process into a one place. Yeah. As we have seen here, here we have some of the best built-in open standard platforms. Nothing but these are the components which we have in our Fusion applications like Oracle Web Center. This is especially for to maintain UCM, as UCM, right? Universal Content Management. Like whatever Oracle information is there, those information will maintain in Oracle Web Center. And the business intelligence, this is especially for the Oracle reportings. And the Universal Content Management and Web Center is a combination of maintain the web related documents and whatever we are uploading or downloading the files, which is maintaining Universal Content Management. And the Oracle Sova Suite is nothing but it's a kind of middleware like WebLogic server. And the JDeveloper, especially for develop this OF pages, and enterprise manager, identity management for the user roles, user provisions, what are the users have roles for that account. Those maintenance happens in Oracle Identity Management. These are some of the components in our Oracle Fusion applications. This is architecture design. If you see, in a general application, architecture is nothing but we have three layers like Oracle, in the general application, we have front-end server, application server, and the database server. Take any generic applications, we do have these three layers. If you see, front-end server is nothing but here in Oracle, that layer is equal to Oracle Fusion application product families. If you see application server, that layer goes to Oracle Fusion middleware. If you see database server, that layer will goes to Oracle database, which is the last layer. Now we can discuss on these three layers. Now Oracle Fusion applications product families, nothing but here we have the combination of all the products, whatever we have, that is put into one of the place in application product families layer. If you see Oracle Fusion Financials, Oracle Fusion Setups, Oracle Fusion Procurement, and Oracle Fusion Governance, and Oracle Fusion's HRMS, HCM, like that, all products are families in this layer. Now, if you go the middleware layer, especially Oracle Fusion middleware and Oracle Fusion middleware components, those two layers are available in Fusion middleware layer. Here, Oracle Fusion middleware is again Oracle Fusion middleware infrastructure components for Oracle Fusion applications. Nothing but this is especially for the Fusion application infrastructure components. These three layers are like Oracle Enterprise Scheduler, Oracle Fusion middleware extensions for applications, and the Enterprise Crawl and Search Framework. We can discuss in detail in this. If you see, Oracle Enterprise Scheduler is nothing but this is one of the infrastructure component for these applications. Here, Enterprise Scheduler nothing but in in R2L, as you know, very familiar with this concurrence and requests and request sets, right? In the same way here, Oracle Enterprise Schedulers will provide jobs, job sets, and ESS jobs. Those information will maintain in this enterprise schedule. How the job will schedule, is a ad hoc basis or is on-demand basis. Those are the information completely maintained by Oracle Enterprise Scheduler. Like Oracle Fusion middleware extensions for applications. This is especially for, as you know, in R2L, we have personalizations concepts is there to do something, any customizations, personalizations, we'll go for the personalizations. The same here we have one of the middleware component is nothing but middleware extensions for applications. Here, maintaining how we can extend an application, how can we change the look and feel. Those information will be stored in those technical area completely maintained with this layer, nothing but the middleware extensions. This is one of the component of the middleware. And Oracle Enterprise Crawl and Search Framework. This is especially for, as you know, in Fusion applications, if you search with, Oracle provided one of the search concept, right? For example, if you want to see an invoice or if you want to search on a supplier, you are trying to search with some of the keywords. So how you are fetching the data with that supplier? How you are fetching the data for that invoice? If you enter the partial data, that is completely maintained from this component. This is one of the separate component which is maintained by the Oracle to provide the search mechanism in our Fusion applications. These three components, especially for the only for Fusion applications. Okay, and one more layer in this middleware, Oracle Fusion middleware components. You know, this is, it can be deals with any other Oracle products like Oracle Business Intelligence, Oracle Data Integrator, and Secure Enterprise Search. This is again related with this crawl framework and HTTP servers on Oracle WebGate, how the policies are defined and how the authentications would be happen from third-party systems to our Fusion systems, like in and out, downstreams to upstreams applications. And here a policies manager, nothing but what are the HTTP policies available, how these policies to be authenticated, those are maintained here. And the web center to maintain web related information and identity management. This is nothing but especially for the user. You know, in Fusion applications, we have especially Fusion introduced roles and roles concept. That is completely maintained by Oracle Identity Management. And here, enterprise content management. This is especially for the UCM, nothing but what are the files we are uploading to the Fusion and where it is stored. That is maintained by Oracle Content Management. And you know, Oracle SOA suite and the BPM suite, one of the component. These are the generic components which is maintained by the Fusion. Okay, this is a quick glance of middleware layer. Nothing but this is application. Now, and these whatever middleware components is there, these components are deployed into Oracle WebLogic server. You know, here these middleware infrastructure components and the middleware components and WebLogic servers, which is talk with one of the each applications in every time. You know, or these Fusion application components and middleware components in WebLogic server, which can talk with each other, like Oracle Enterprise Manager, Fusion Applications Control. This can be controlled with these three applications with help of this applications control stack. And one more layer, which is last Oracle database layer, which can have two components like Oracle Fusion application schemas and Oracle Fusion middleware schemas. Here, Oracle Fusion application schemas have especially for product families, whatever Fusion application product families have, those database related information would be stored in Oracle Fusion application schemas. Nothing but, for example, if you are maintaining Oracle Fusion financials, these Oracle financials data would be stored in Oracle Fusion application schemas into financial schema in our Oracle database. Like whatever you are maintaining Oracle middleware components, those middleware components data would be deals with Oracle Fusion middleware schemas. For example, if you deployed one of the ADF application, custom ADF application into Fusion, then those ADF application data would be maintained by Oracle Fusion middleware schemas, not into Fusion application schemas. This is especially for Fusion application product families. You know, these Oracle database layers are maintained, again, Oracle Enterprise Managed Database Control. For each layer does have an application control. And these application controls are which talk with one of the application, one of the control mechanism. See, if you see here, this application server and the database server, these can talk with each other with help of Oracle Enterprise Manager Grid Control. By this, all, especially for this grid control, uh, can check, as you know, in R2Well, these DBS are maintained health checks and how the how the servers are up and how those are running. Those are maintained by DBS in R2Well. Whereas in especially in Fusion, here grid control, one of the enterprise manager is available. This enterprise manager can take care how these middleware components or these families or these database, how these are running in our application. Do we have any health checks? Everything is maintained by the grid control, and it will be sending alerts for a specific resources. Yeah, this is the architecture designer. Move on to, if you see here, Fusion application product families. Nothing but here, as we seen in the earlier slide here, in front-end server layer is nothing but application product families. If you see here, product families, here procurement, human capital management, supply chain management, and govern customer relationship management. These are the modules which we have in our Fusion applications. If you see, in procurement, we have sourcing, contracting, procure to pay, and supplier management. These are called offerings. In our Fusion, we are calling as an offerings which can provide the business services of in this procurement product, in this procurement application product. Like human capital management, if we have global human resources, talent management, workforce rewards, like this, every module does have a number of offerings which can enlarge the business, you know. Like this, day by day, Oracle is enhancing these modules with a number of offerings. And if you want to do any setups for this, for specific module, if, for example, if you are implementing a procurement applications for your organization, now you are trying to configure and setups to related to your business. Then in Fusion, these setups and configurations are maintained into only one place, by which is called functional setup manager. From this functional setup manager, sorry, from this functional setup manager, we can set up and configure all business related setups into one place. If you want to set up human capital management, simply just will go for function setup manager and will do. Whereas in R2Well, we are separate, we have separate setups and configurations for each module. Every time we are switching responsibilities from one GL to inventory to, you know, purchasing, like. For a single module, if you want to do setups in R2Well, if you, for a purchasing, simply you are going for purchasing responsibility, there you are set up for the purchase related setups. But in Fusion, that is completely in one place. Oracle maintain in only one place, which can have all setups and related things. This is also one kind of module in our Fusion applications. In the same way, for each module, we can maintain dashboards, APIs, and extensibility of framework. Nothing but we can extend our applications. Again, this is completely maintained one of the module in our Fusion application. Nothing but this is one of the product, this is one of the product family, and this is one of the product family, and whatever extensible options are available, like dashboards, KPIs, and extensible framework. This is also kind of product family. These are the complete product families which is provided by the Fusion applications. Like this, Oracle day by day enhancing these modules and work and offerings related by a specific product family. Move on. Yeah, as we seen earlier, here we have various deployment options are available in our Fusion applications like public, private, on-premise, and hybrid. Just we'll see quick glance of this. Here, the choice of deployment options, if you see public cloud and private cloud and on-premise. Yeah, if you see public cloud here, everything is maintained by Oracle, nothing but whatever information, whatever services, everything going by organization itself. Here, data center and whatever data center applications and the business infrastructure, everything is maintained by the everything is maintained by Oracle. If you see here, A, B, C, D, E is kind of business partners for Oracle. You know, A is one of the business partners, B is one of the some of the business partners, and Oracle is shared the data to these business partners. Nothing but these business partners are consuming the services from these data centers, which is provided by the Oracle. For example, A wants some business changes, nothing but A wants some application changes on a specific business service. At that time, A send in a request or A requests an enhancements to the data center with the help of Oracle. Then Oracle is analyzed on that enhancement request. If it is valid, Oracle is provides, hey, Oracle is sends a notifications like, hey, business partner, we are enhancing this request and your enhancement request would be available to the next release. You know, nothing but Oracle is releasing upgrade versions. In that version, whatever a business partner requests, that option would be available. In the same way, the same option would be available for the rest of business partners also, because this is completely maintained by the Oracle. There is no involvement of organization. So if any changes would be available in the application, those changes would be available for all the business partners. Nothing but that is called public cloud. You know, the services are available to the general public and offered on a subscription basis with no requirements to buy additional license of support. Whereas in private cloud is nothing but data center and this application is maintained by organization. The rest of infrastructure is maintained by Oracle. Here, if you see the various business partners, you know, the various business partners and the data center, which is maintained by organization. If one of the business partner requests any enhancement, at that time, organization develop the changes and sends the deployment request to the Oracle. Then Oracle deploying the same enhancement request to their data center, and whatever business partner requested that change would be available for that business partner only. It's not goes for another business partner. That kind of restriction would be available in the private cloud. Nothing but see here, application and technology manager services that are offered for Oracle software and hardware and are available internally behind a firewall and hosted over by internet Oracle. You know, Oracle provides management, monitoring, patching, security, and upgrade services. Apart from this, whatever applications and the data, those are maintained by the organization. If you see on-premise, here nothing but public and private cloud is a combination of Oracle is completely enhanced with infrastructure and all related services are enhanced with Oracle. Whereas in on-premise, everything is maintained by organization like infrastructures, applications, the database, everything is maintained by the on-premise. Like if you see in our RTL applications, we do maintain, organization maintain database, organization maintain application servers, organizations maintains, this middlewares, everything is maintained by organization itself. Nothing but hardware, software, license and supports that you buy and host and one or more your sites. Oracle is responsible for organization is responsible for monitoring, security, patching, and upgrades. Only Oracle will provide hardware and software support. This is kind of on-premise. Like we have various deployment options would be available in Oracle, like public, private, and on-premise. Yeah, move on to on this glance. We have types of cloud services. Like here, public cloud is we are called as a SaaS service data model, and private cloud we called as PaaS, and on-premise we called as on-premise. If you see here, public cloud nothing but software as a service. The all infrastructure services like applications, data, runtime, middleware, servers, storage, networking, the completely is owning by Oracle itself. There is no involvement of organization. If you see platform as a service, here this is called one of the data model, one of the service data model. Here application and data, these two components are maintained by organization. The remaining would be maintained by Oracle itself, like server, storage, networking. You can play anything with the applications and data. That is called PaaS service, platform as a service. Nothing but Oracle is providing your own platform to the organization. Yeah, like one of the service model, we have infrastructure as a service, like applications, data, runtime, middleware, and operating systems. This is completely maintained by the organization. The servers, storage, networking is maintained by Oracle. If you see on-premise, here, everything you should be managed. The organization should manage application, servers, storage, networking, data, runtime. One of the example is our Autovell application. In Autovell applications, organization is maintaining these all the components. Just Oracle is providing a support for this. Just Oracle provide whatever Oracle provided the application, for that they are providing a support. Rest of everything infrastructure is maintained by organization itself in this on-premise. Move on. If you see, especially for SaaS versus PaaS, SaaS. In SaaS, UI related and the data fields and the business process, we can change. We can replace the customization with a limited privileges. We have very limited privileges in SaaS applications, like some UI changes, some data field changes, some business process changes. Very limited privileges would be provided by Oracle. Whereas in PaaS, here we have vast privileges. We have nothing but you can build your own applications, nothing but you can build your third-party application, which is written in Java application, and you can deploy this application in Oracle database. Here, if Oracle provides any patches or Oracle provides any release, then Oracle saying we are not taking care of any your custom related things. If Oracle release the version, then you have to maintain your custom functionality and you have to deploy again. That is the PaaS. Nothing but PaaS will provide the more and more custom functionalities. Whereas in SaaS, does have only less custom functionalities, only the limited privileges we have. See here, this is Fusion application dashboard. If you see in our Autovell application, in our e-business suite, in our EBS, we have 3-step process which we need to access our product families in Autovell. Like first we are connecting to the Autovell application and it will initiate J developer. At last it will open this kind of responsibility. There we are performing business related operations. That is 3-step process. Whereas in Fusion, we have only 1-step process which can deals with all business processes which organization enable for us. Like see here, bill management, accounting distributions, receivables, and general accounting. In the one place, we are able to see all the product families. These are the kind of the dashboard in our Fusion application. And as I said, offerings, nothing but, for example, if you see here, enterprise contracts. This is one of the module. In this module, we have n number of offerings are available. From these offerings, we are doing or we are performing business related setups. Nothing but this is called as a function setup manager. Does have n number of modules under we have n number of offerings to the business. Here we are performing business related configurations. Like nothing but this is called as a function setup manager. See here, this is line of business. If you see the quick glance of here, the business partners like A, B, C. Here, Fusion function setup does have all the product families here. If you want to implement financials, just you can deal with function setup manager. If you go with sales, if you go with workforce deployment, simply you can navigate to function setup manager. You can do whatever you require business related services. Like here, planning, configuration, implementations, and deployment and ongoing maintenance. Everything is maintained here from function setup manager. For example, your setups are related, setups done all related to the financials. Now, if you want to deploy this financials related information to the next instance, higher instance, simply just you can download from here itself and upload to there. That kind of feature would be available function setup manager. Whereas in Fusion, we are doing some manual stuff and we are performing some Unix based operations, so on so. But here nothing is required. Simply upload and download options are available from this function setup manager. Like this. If you see here, just here I am navigated to one of the financials module. In financial modules, we have kind of offerings are available. If you see here in financials, we have payables offerings. If you select payables offerings, you are able to see all business related setups are available. Okay, there here you would search whatever you require. For example, if you are trying to create a legal entity, okay, or you're creating a legal reporting unit or associated business units. So all related business setups are available in this function setup manager, and all offerings are also available. From here only we can do all the setups and configurations. Yeah. Now we'll see very brief on this security, how the security is implemented in our Fusion applications. If you see, before this, we can compare with for our Autovell applications. For example, user wants to purchasing applications in our Autovell applications. At that time, simply in Autovell, what we'll do, we are assigning a purchasing responsibility to the user. Then user does have that scope to access for that purchasing. Like here in that purchasing, there we can restrict like we are assigning some functions, we are excluding some menus for that specific user. Whatever user needs, just we are assigning for that user in order to perform some business related operations. In the same way, in Fusion also, the security mechanism, if you compare with Autovell versus Fusion, in Fusion, the security model is completely different. Here, Oracle introduced role-based access control in our Fusion applications. See, who, what, which data. For example, if you see, an employee can view a payslip for themselves, but this employee cannot view the payslip for others. Like that, we can restrict. a line manager can give merit increase for workers in their hierarchy, but this line manager cannot give this merit increase for other workers. We can restrict. For a HR specialist, North America can transfer employees in his BU, but not other BUs. Like this, we can control all access services by using a role-based access control. This is kind of new feature which is provided Oracle in our Fusion. Role-based access control. See here, role-based access control is nothing but users are assigned roles through which they gain access to the functions and data within the applications. Here, this model does have 5 types of roles in our security management, like data roles, abstract roles, job roles, aggregate privileges, and duty roles. If you compare with these roles, R12, it's very easy, you know. In R12, we have forms, functions, and menus will assign to the responsibility. Like here also, data roles, abstract roles, jobs, aggregate, and duty roles. Nothing but menu is nothing but in our R12 application, menu does have forms and functions, right? Here also the menu is equivalent to job role. Job can have data roles and duty roles like that. We can discuss very in detail in our coming sessions on this. Just I'm giving a quick glance how we can compare with R12, this data model, these role models. The most of Oracle Fusion data secured means of security profiles, and these security profiles already enabled from Oracle itself. And we can inherit these roles from one role to another role. See, this is one of the role. HR human resource specialist does have a duty role. You know, this human resource specialist is kind of job role. Okay, this job role have a duty role, person management. This person management can see 2 roles, does have access for 2 roles, like person address view and the personal national identifier view. Okay, here this HR specialist can perform only these 2 operations, like person address. He can see employee's address. He can see, but he cannot edit. Like he can see personal national identifiers, but he cannot edit. Like these kind of restricts we can do by use role-based security models. And these jobs can inherit from one job to another jobs. And these HR human resource specialists, like this, Oracle provided all required job roles for us. So if we want to create any job roles, if you want to create any roles, just we can customize, nothing but we can inherit, we can customize from the standard roles, and we can restrict ourselves. Now more on to we can discuss on Fusion reportings. Now we are coming into our technical area in our Fusion applications. As you know, in Fusion reporting, especially we have BA publishers and OTBIs. And BA publishers, OTBIs, and these FRS reports and integrations, inbound integrations, outbound integrations, and web services. These are categorized under Fusion reportings. If you see reporting here, Fusion application transactional database. In our traditional database, in our on-premise R12 applications, whatever we are performing, for example, if you create an invoice, the invoice will directly sit into database. That is traditional database. Whereas in Fusion applications, Oracle created BI view objects. You know, very familiar with view objects. In MVC architecture, we have view objects, nothing but when the data is displaying to the web page from the model layer, how the model layer is getting the data? The model layer is getting the data from with the help of view objects. Again, view objects are created with help of database tables. For example, if you see here, employee data we can see in from per all people F. This per all people F data we can see by with the help of view object. For example, Oracle is created employee view object. From this employee view object, we can get the data for that specific employees. Nothing but this employee view object can created on top of per all people F table. Like this, Oracle created n number of BI view objects as a standard basis. You know, from this in Fusion, we are able to create two types of BIP reports. Like one is with help of view objects, we can create BI publisher reports, and with help of direct transactional database. Without BI view objects also, we can create BIP reports with help of data models. Okay. And one more thing, OTBI. OTBI is completely nothing but Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence. This is especially for view objects. Oracle provided n number of view objects to create OTBI reports. These OTBI reports concepts is the new feature in our Fusion applications. This is especially to get very quick data, and if you want to develop a report with a graphic mode, nothing but a graphical user interface, services are provided in these OTBI reportings like KPIs, graphs, and some look and feels. You can perform OTBI reports, and these OTBI reports can develop a users also. They can, if we guide to the users how can we develop OTBI reports, they can also quickly analyze the data from through OTBI. Nothing but all the view objects are provided by the Oracle itself. Simply just we can select the employee view object, and from their view object we can get whatever employee data you require. Just drag and drop options are available in this OTBI. Whereas in Fusion, you can write your select statements in BIP data models. These BI view objects and this transaction database and these BI composers and answers, nothing but ad hoc queries and BI composers and answers. These are related to the OTBIs. These are completely maintained in our Fusion reporting with the help of BI presentation layer. In this BI presentation layer, we have this BI publisher and OTBI features are available. In our dashboard, especially Oracle provided for us one of the dashboard called reports and analytics. With the help of reports and analytics, we are able to create these reports like BIP and OTBIs. On the left side, you are able to see here some ETL features, Oracle, this OBI data warehouse. This is one of the ETL database. If an organization requires this ETL feature, organization will separate by from Oracle. If organization requires this, then Oracle will integrate this feature with BI presentation layer. Then these ETL features are also available from this BI presentation layer. Now, OTBI, Oracle Transaction Business Intelligence, nothing but it's a fully integrated with Fusion, requires no addition system or security configurations. Just drag and drop options are available for this OTBIs. Ready for use once Fusion is provisioned and the data is available for reporting. You cannot do any, it's not required any additional setups or related to develop a OTBI report. If on a product family setup is done and further product family transactions are created, then at that time directly you are able to create OTBI report itself, and it inherits Fusion HCM user roles and security profiles, and you can embed these OTBI reports with a personalization. Nothing but, see, you developed one of the OTBI report. That OTBI report, you can directly create like as a dashboard. From here itself, you can run your OTBI reports and you can analyze the data here itself. That type of feature is provided by Oracle itself. Yeah, this is kind of OTBI. Now, BI Publisher. As you know, very familiar with in Fusion application, we are developed a number of BI reports. Like there we used concurrence, and from concurrence we are exporting from concurrence. We are mapping to data definitions and templates. Like here also, the same kind of feature available in the Fusion. Here, the data is completely represented with an XML format. You know, whatever we are building the reports in a Fusion, these BIP reports data in the format of XML. Again, this XML data, with help of this XML data, we are trying to create different layouts by using BI Publisher add-in, same as an R2L, like Word, PDF, Excel, and XSL. Like we can use different types of layouts, and with these layouts, we can get different type of output formats like PDF, HTML, Excel, RTF, CSV, XML, and EFT. And we can send these output formats to the different destinations like emails, printers, fax, repository, e-commerce, like this. If you compare this screen with R2L, the same features would be available. Now, what are the difference in Fusion? What are the new features are available in Fusion? Like, for example, in R2L, there are manual stuffs are required. Manual interruption is required to do something. Like some one format to another format, and this bursting concept and these delivery channels. If you see in R2L, especially for the bursting concept, these delivery channels options available with help of bursting, whereas in Fusion and R2L. In Fusion for bursting, manually we are writing an SQL statements and handle something. But whereas in Fusion, if you want to send an email, Oracle provided set of instructions for this bursting concept. And these are these layouts and these different formats and these destinations. These three components are put into a single screen in our Fusion applications. No need to navigate from one screen to another screen like in EBS. We can handle in a single screen what are the options are available, like bursting, output formats, and layout tools, and the scheduling options. Everything is would be available in single screen. And for this bursting, Oracle provided set of instructions. How we can send an email, how we can configure a printer, how can we do in a fax and a specific output, how we can send an output to the nothing but UCM. Like we can configure by using destinations. These are the reportings available, OTBS and BIPs. And now if you see inbound integrations and outbound integrations, as you know, you are very familiar with an EBS like inbound and outbound interfaces. So in generally what we'll do in our EBS for inbound interfaces, like we are getting the data from one of the CSV and we are copying the CSV sheet, CSV file to the specific product family, nothing but in one of the folder, we are copying that CSV file and we are extracting the data with help of SQL loader. And what we are doing, developing one of the SQL package to validate the data and inserting data into the interface tables and invoking one of the standard concurrent program in order to perform data will goes to the main tables. That is kind of inbound pattern in our EBS. If you compare with the same inbound pattern within in our Fusion application, The architecture is completely different. Here, everything is standardized. There is very low technical work is required here for inbound integrations, especially. If you see here, if you want to push the data to your Fusion applications, there are several options are available for these inbound integrations like ADF desktop integrator, file-based data import, and some of the and web services. These are the options are available for the inbound patterns. Like if you see ADF desktop integrator, this is for especially for minimal data. If you want to send in a minimal data, you can use ADF desktop integrator. These are spreadsheet data loaders, we can call it as. And FBDI, if you want to perform bulk data, then we can use this file-based data import. Especially if you want to push the data for HCM, like employees, payrolls, and assignments, whatever related, data of birth, genders, whatever it may be, for it's related to the employee, you can use HCM data loader. And if you want to automation, like automation of data load, this is with help of SOAP and web services. This kind of patterns also available. We can see in detail here. Yeah, this is inbound. Yeah. For example, here ADF desktop integrator, and nothing but if you take in a journal import, already journal data is available in our application, Fusion application. If you want to perform some CRUD operations, create, read, update, or delete operations on that journal, simply you can get the data from this desktop integrator and you can perform there. We can perform these type of operations with for only minimal data. For that purpose, we are using ADF desktop integrator. This is especially we are using for the testing purpose in a real time. If you use FBDI, nothing but client will provide a CSV sheet can have lakhs of data. That lakhs of data you can perform by using FBDI. Here, FBDI is nothing but file-based data import. For example, if you want to push journals data or invoices data or contracts data, these journals, contracts, and receivables, whatever these are called, we can call as a business entities. Business entities. Not journal is kind of business entity. AR transactions called as a business entity. AP account payables invoice called as a journal, one of the business entity. Like that, for each product family, Oracle categorized n number of business entities for this FBDI process. Just we can follow set of instructions provided from the Oracle for this FBDI process in order to push the data to the Fusion applications. And for each business entity, error mechanism is different. The business case to case error mechanism. It's not for all business entities. It's not same for all the business entities. For business case to business case, error mechanism is different. And those instructions are already Oracle provided against each business entity. Now, HCM data loader. This is HDL. This is kind of data loader which can push the data to the Fusion applications related to all employees, like employees, assignments, and payrolls, and these work relationships. Those complete whatever employee related information will push with help of HDL. For this also Oracle provided set of instructions how we can push the data to the Fusion applications. Now, SOAP and REST web services. As we discussed here, in file-based data imported, what are the business entities are available? Those business entities, for example, if you say journals, you are trying to create journals in Fusion applications, like journal import. For the general import, the same business entity would be available with the help of web services. So what are the business entities available for the BDI? The same options would be available for here web services also. For example, I will give a real-time scenario from one of the business case. Let's assume one of the third-party system is Siemens applications. Siemens applications created one of the opportunity in sales module. Siemens applications created one of the opportunity. The same opportunity I'm trying to create in our Fusion applications with help of automation process. So how can I do? Simple. Just I'm trying to find contract related web services. Okay, I'm trying to find contract related web service. I'm trying to build an integration for that, and I will call that integration whenever an opportunity is created in Siemens application. Immediate this opportunity would be created in Fusion application with help of this contract web service. This kind of automation we can do, okay, with help of inbound integrations. This is patterns of inbound integrations. Now outbound integrations. This is very simple. In our RTL, just we are using util file or some PL/SQL packages. Just we are using those patterns to pulling the data from EBS. Like in our Fusion applications also here, outbound patterns like BA Publisher, OTBS, and SOAP or REST web services. By using these options, we can sending the data from Fusion applications to third-party applications. Okay, this is kind of outbound patterns. Nothing but just you are developed one of the BA Publisher report, and this BA Publisher report will be called from integrations, and this integration will send the data from Fusion to third-party systems. This is kind of outbound patterns. And now, how can we extend Fusion applications? Extending nothing but the personalizations. The same kind of feature in RTL. In RTL also, just Oracle provided some of the personalization levels, right? User level, responsibility level. Like here also we can extending Fusion applications. Like if you want to add some custom fields like descriptive flex fields, key flex fields, extensible flex fields. These options would available with help of page composers. One of the component Oracle provided page composer. From this page composer, we can add these custom fields and modify existing fields like make field required, change a field label, show or hide a field, or reorder fields. These options are again we can achieve by the help of page composers. Now, tailoring of user interface. Like if you want to change a look and feel, colors, fonts, and if you want to change the background screens and change the page layouts, if you want to create new page integration and some custom data validations and change the extending the user options and add some new buttons and and the links to the existing pages. These options are can achieve by the help of application composer. And behind this application composer does require some coding techniques. These coding techniques we can achieve with the help of expression languages, Groovy code, HTML, JavaScript, web services. By using this, we can do these options. With the help of these coding techniques, we can achieve this tailoring of user interfaces on Fusion. Okay. If you want to invoke any web service, just go for application composer. There we can register that web service, and it's required some manual interaction over there. And one more feature, OTBI reports and mobile. Nothing but you are developed one of the OTBI report. Let's assume you are developed one of the OTBI reports which is graphical mode. Nothing but you are developed one of the KPI. That's you want to the same OTBA report you wants to be embedded in your mobile. The type of feature would provided Oracle itself. Nothing but here that embed OTBA reports, dashboards into page layouts, edit mobile specific pages, change the reports available in the mobile. The mobile compatibility reports we can develop by using OTBA. That is, again, we can, as of now, we are not implemented this feature, but Oracle is provided one of this, like this. In our sessions, we can see this, how we can add custom fields, existing, how we can modify existing fields, and we'll see some of the coding techniques like expression languages, Groovy codes, and how can we use JavaScript, how can we invoke web services by using application composer. These three options we can see in our coming sessions. See here, UI, application user interface. Here, UI component, for example, you have one of the text box in one of the standard page. If you want to perform some of the conditions on the text box, like if you enter one of the value in one of the text box, and those value would be changed to the another text box, some conditional based, that is we can perform in our user interface. For this, in our SaaS model, we play around till expression language and won't go beyond that. Nothing but minimal privileges provided by Oracle. We cannot do for apart from that privileges. If you want to do, if you want to perform, or if you want to satisfy the business requirement, so whatever you client requests the business requirement, that business requirement is not satisfied with this UI, then obviously you should go for PaaS model. In PaaS model, you can get all the privileges with help of ADF application. Simply you are developed one of the ADF application, and ADF application you can deploy to the Fusion application with the help of a JCS database service. Here, as we discussed, here WebLogic server data layer would be sit in this RDBMS model. Like this, we can modify user interfaces in SaaS and PaaS. Now, we'll see a quick glance of workflows, approvals and notifications. As you know, very familiar with workflows in Artwell, right? When we create an PO, just it will goes to the certain levels to take their decisions. For that purpose, we are taking workflows. Here, workflows workflow structure completely different from Artwell versus Fusion applications. They're completely workflow builder we are using for workflows. Here, this is completely maintained by SOVA application in our Fusion. If you see, if you want to hire an employee in an organization, it's not a direct, the recruiter cannot hire an employee with his own decision. He can take decision like this, some of the hierarchy, like the first level approver, nothing but line manager, he approves, then it goes to second level, he approves, then goes to the payroll manager, then payroll manager approves, then it will go to recruiter, then recruiter hire an employee and he sends a notification to these hierarchies, like we have this employee for this specific requirement. For that purpose, they are using workflows, nothing but automatically among users for their consideration for action to consideration for in order to take their considerations. For the purpose, we are using workflows to get a defined result. In Fusion application, these workflows, especially workflows, are maintained with BPM, business process management. In Fusion applications, use the approval management extensions for Oracle SOVA, service-oriented architecture. Here, BPM, Oracle Business Process Management, especially deals with workflows. Like this, we have some of the key components like SOVA approval management extensions and human capital management, especially for BPM service for workflows. Here, what will do BPM? What will do the BPM here? It will configure some details for all approval tasks, like when to issue an approval notification, actions available to approvers, when to do when occurs during approval routing, nothing but if any error would be occur, what is the next step we can do perform here. When tasks expire, it should be escalated. We can configure like this. Whether the approver can add other approvers, yes, we can do like this. Like this, these type of tasks we can perform in this BPM. Yeah, this is the kind of technical area, especially in workforce, very less technical involvement required, but this is also one of the best feature in our Fusion applications. Yeah, this is a quick glance of Oracle Fusion.
Vijay, can you please put topics that you will be covering, modules, nothing but components you will be covering as part of the course? Maybe can you put in a notepad?
Notepad.
Yeah. I think we missed that slide here. Just put in a notepad so that everybody can understand. So given an overview on all the Fusion technical context, topics, components, but what we'll be covering in this course, you can mention.
Yeah, just a moment.
That's okay, you can keep here.
Yeah, otherwise you can share your screen. I don't have that slide, which Krishna.
It is not handy with me also. We can type here, no problem.
Yeah, we'll see BIP report.
I think it's there in the invitation. Is it the same thing that you're talking about?
Yeah, otherwise you can open the course email and then you can explain. Not in the content, just check in the email body.
Yeah, that's the one which I was talking about.
Yeah, check in the email body.
Yeah, we'll see these security concepts and BI reportings and ODBI reportings and inbound and outbound integrations with various patterns, web services, FBDIs, ODBIs, and these HDLs or HCM module, and the data extraction, same as ODBS and OTBS. And we'll discuss the real-time scenarios. For each, I will take one of the business entity and I will provide real-time integrations for these inbound and outbound patterns. And we'll see some BI reporting, which is a complex, in R2L, we have, in SaaS application, we cannot use any PL/SQL logics. Whereas in R2L, we can play with all PL/SQL logics, right? But how can we achieve the same PL/SQL logic in our SaaS application? Like that, I would provide some complex report developments in our SaaS application model. How can we develop BI reports and how we can build complex SQL with help of with class, how we can use set operators with various options that we can see. And we'll see how the ESS jobs would be, nothing but how the schedules would be happens, and we'll see some of the customizations and personalizations in our SaaS applications. Yeah, any doubts, any queries we can discuss.
Yeah, I want to know if are we going to learn Oracle Application Development Framework also? Because if we need customization in the forms, how will we do that? Like if we want to add our
Oracle, I understand. Oracle Development Framework is a separate course, okay, for which we need another 45 hours to explain. Okay, it's not a small component, as you know. Okay, so it's a separate course.
So how will we learn, if we have to customization, have a customization in
We'll
our,
explain you the personalizations. Okay, we'll explain you small page development in 1 hour. Small page development, just an overview, but it's not a end-to-end a complete training on the ADF. Okay, but personalization will be covering. ADF form also will show you, but by
so what
developing
I understand is
one
we are
small
not
page.
going to learn customization. We are going to learn personalization here.
Yes, personalization. Yes, I
If you
mean
could, if you could show us a small, ADF kind of a, a document, like a work, that should be fine, I guess. We don't need to go in deeper.
Yeah, I will show the kind of the small customizations. Like I will develop one of the small ADF page and I will try to deploy to WebLogic server.
Yeah.
Which is a small example, but it can illustrate how you develop a VDF page and how can we play with that in a SaaS application. That I will show that.
Yeah. For that we plan for 1 2 hour session for that. Okay.
Yeah.
We are already covering that in the classes, and we'll also cover in this classes also in this training as well. Okay.
So what's this Delboomi, JCS, OICS?
Yeah, Delboom is nothing but again, it's kind of middleware tool. Is everyone familiar with this Oracle Integration Cloud? If you don't know, just I will give an overview. We have various middleware tools like Oracle Integration Cloud, Delboomi, MuleSoft, and this one more you said, what is that?
JCS, Java Cloud Service.
JCS, yeah. Especially for JCS is nothing but it's for custom applications. For example, if an organization takes in a PaaS service, at that time you required develop a ADF page, and this ADF page will deploy into JCS server. For that purpose, JCS required. For Oracle Integration Cloud, this is especially for to talk with third-party systems from Fusion system. If you want to sense data or inbound and outbound transmissions would be happen with help of Oracle Integration Cloud. And the MuleSoft and this Delboomi. These two are Java related middleware tools. It's not with an Oracle. Here there is no adapters are required, everything. Everything is maintained by technical developer itself. And these two are open source tools.
Okay,
So, as I know that we are going to learn within this training about Oracle Cloud Technical, right? We are going to be a technical consultant for Oracle Fusion. Will that be enough without ADF training? This is what my thinking.
In case of EBS, most of we don't know ADF also, right? The ADF is there in the market for many years. Most of we are working on EBS without knowing the ADF. Okay. In the similar way in Fusion also, and also in Fusion, Oracle is not supporting most of the customizations. Okay, so you cannot introduce a completely new process in Fusion applications. That's the reason.
But for the EBS, we most of the people know Oracle Forms, right? So R12 has many forms. We can develop.
Yeah, that's
Oracle
what.
Forms.
See, if you compare with EBS, what happens is you have a flexibility to introduce a new customization completely, but in Fusion it's controlled. Okay, most of the customizations are not available, so you cannot completely build a new custom process in Fusion. Okay.
But we can add a page, right?
Yeah, that's what we told you. Okay, we'll explain you one sample page creation, and the SR will be explaining the deployment and all. Okay, within 1 2 hours of session. Yeah, not in detail like core ADF training.
Okay. After this, can I learn Oracle ADF if you have this facility also?
Yeah, we have.
Okay, good.
I told you it's a separate training. We need another 40 to 45 hours of session to explain you the ADF.
Yeah, but my question is like, do you have that facility?
We have.
All right, good.
Yeah. Hi, I have one question on the inbound integration.
Yeah.
Yeah, in cloud, how do we do the validations? Because whatever the inbound integration that tools we have, it is just like a data loader, right? So if
Yes.
you want to do some validations, where do we do in cloud?
Yeah,
How do we do that?
Oracle itself validate those validations. For example, in EBS, we are in inbound pattern. For example, currencies does not exist. Just we are validating manual, right?
Mm.
But with coding, we are validating in EBS. But whereas in Fusion, with help of file-based data import, when we put the data in the spreadsheet itself take care of the data. Nothing but system will validate. Nothing but
Yeah, but they are not like user-friendly validations, right? It just says like exist or not exist. And not only that, if you want to have some kind of custom validations, not only like checking the value exist or not, if you want to do some other type of validation based on certain attributes, we want to decide if we want to insert this data or not.
Yeah,
how do we do that type of validation?
Yeah. For example, if you see any business entity, it have vast columns. N number of columns would be available for the business requirement. We have DFFs, right? In DFF, attribute 1 to attribute 30. Like that, then we have these attribute concepts again categorized into 3 ways. Nothing but 3 into 30. 90 additional columns also 90 additional columns are available to maintain the data.
No, I mean that is okay, but I'm just talking about the data validation.
Bhupal,
if you want to just
Bhupal, I'll clarify you. So Vijay is explaining in the context of SaaS. Okay. So I understand your question. You mean to say where we do the validations? I mean, before we move to the data to the interface tables, like stage tables and all, right?
Yeah.
So if you're just having a SaaS offering, you cannot create a stage tables. If you're just having it, okay, you're not allowed to create any new tables. But if you're having PaaS licensing, okay, in the PaaS licensing, you can buy DBCS, Database Cloud Service. If you buy Database Cloud Service, there you can create custom tables or stage tables, whatever you want, and you can do the data validation there, and later you can push it to the interface tables. But for that, you need PaaS license. But what Vijay is explaining how to handle in the SaaS area. Okay. Otherwise, we have some alternatives. What the alternatives is nothing but if you're bringing the data to the Fusion applications in the source system itself. In the source system itself, you can do whatever the validations that you want. Okay, suppose if the source is EBS, in this EBS itself, you create some tables and then do the data validation there itself, and then proper data you push it to the interface tables. Okay.
Yeah, but if you want to do validations by accessing data from Fusion database, how do we do that?
You have to go with the DBCS only, Database Cloud Service in the past.
No, from DBCS, can we get access from access to the Fusion database?
Yes,
data?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
I mean, how do we get that? How do we? Is it through web service or just like a selector? How do we get that access?
It will be by default linked to the database. Okay, it's reside in the Fusion architecture only. Okay, DBCS, so that directly linked to the database, and then you can write your select statements whichever you want. Vijay, you can maybe explain technically.
Yeah, in SaaS application also, for especially for validation, it's step. We have multiple instructions are available. Oracle provided multiple instructions to push the data to the main table. In that process, validation would be happen.
Okay.
So that Oracle will provide log file and this bad file, discard file, as we seen in EBS. Bad file, discard file, and this log file, and especially these logs will put into one of the PDF. Very in detail validation summary would be provided.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
One question from me is, can you provide us this PowerPoint so that we can have like
yeah, I told you already in the chat that we will be providing, right?
Okay.
I already answered your question.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions, team, from others? Anything from Nivruti or Rahul, Shivaji? Yeah.
What are the prerequisites to learn this course?
SQL?
You know, you are very proficient on SQL, especially
Yeah.
in EBS. We can EBS will provide field sequence, right? So we can achieve requirement very easily. But especially for Fusion, you know, you more proficient on SQL, especially.
PLSQL is not required, right?
Yeah, field sequence is not required.
Core Java?
Yeah, core Java. Yeah, minimal core Java is required. That is very minimal.
Okay.
Especially for coding techniques like Groovy, expression languages. Like it's kind of again a field SQL concept, like if else, you know, if else, right? Like that.
That you can learn in the web also, just by spending 2 to 3 days of time. You can do your self-learning for the Java. You need not again take the Java training, core Java training. The basics you can learn from the web itself. The faculty will guide you.
Okay.
Okay, and coming to the timings, we are planning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST. 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST. Hope you are fine with it. And the first class would be from Monday, which is 20th. Day after tomorrow, Monday 20th, 8 a.m.
And hi, it's Dinesh. And actually, my office timing is 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So 7 to 8, and or in evening, is it possible?
Okay, it depends upon the everybody
Availability. Okay.
availability. Yeah, Dinesh, thanks for your suggestion. And 7 days is also fine with us. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Hope everybody is also fine with 78. Is okay.
I am not actually. This is also very early for me.